Yesterday, we made this episode about this lady who said that she was the person who was supposed to be the successor to TB Joshua. We looked at contradictions in her message. If you want to see that video, I'll leave it down in the pinned comment, so check it out. It will be down there. Now, I believe SCOAN has responded, in SCOAN fashion. They have responded, but SCOAN responds using people that are close to SCOAN. I'm going to show that this is SCOAN responding directly. And if you guys remember in the BBC entire jazz that they did earlier on when they got massively exposed, there was this trick is mentioned in the documentary. Okay? This particular trick that is used here with Pastor Tony, it's a classic with SCOAN. But bear in mind, they don't change because they don't get it. They don't see we have caught on. Oh, this is how y'all do this thing. But I'm going to show you that in this video. But before I show you what their response is, I want us to go and start first of all in what Unice says about her calling. The reason why I want to start there is because I think there is something we need to say to our sister Unice here. And I think SCOAN could do better by saying roughly about the same thing. We do daily Christian commentary videos. If it's the first time over here to be sure, check out some other videos that are down in the pinned comments and I'm going to check you out over there. All right, so let's first listen to us Unice when she's talking about her calling, and apparently she is not called prophetess, she's called prophet. Why is that?
These words, prophets, apostles, pastor, teachers, take note. I want you to know these titles are heavenly titles and they are not to be changed in whatever form. These are heavenly titles and they are not supposed to be changed. The question is, when you hear, oh, there is a prophet somewhere, there's a prophet, the question you ask is he a male prophet or is it a female prophet? Because these are titles, heavenly titles from God.
Okay, so basically what she's trying to say here is she's answering why she is not prophetess, why she is prophet. And she says this is not supposed to be changed. I'm gonna prove through the Bible that she has it wrong here. Now there's a reason why I'm starting here. The reason why I'm starting here is because I believe Unice needs to do some evaluation. She probably, maybe, I don't know, maybe does not have a gift of a prophet or a prophetess.
Prophets, because these are titles, heavenly titles from God, as the Lord God taught me in the spirit, and they are not in any form supposed to be changed.
Remember, she said she heard this from the spirit world or wherever she heard this. In Isaiah chapter number 8, verse number 3. And then he speaks about the relations with the prophetess. And so the particular title that she's questioning is seen there. It is a term that changes depending on the gender of the person. The Bible is not in the flag, so it's confused. No. 2 Chronicles chapter number 34. The particular title again. Okay, the king designated when he went spoke to the prophetess, the wife of so and so. It changes when it comes to the gender of the person. In the New Testament, we do have a place where it comes up in the book of Luke, chapter number 2. In the introduction of Jesus going to the temple, it says, and there was a prophetess named Anne. And then it goes on to name the other one, from this tribe and so forth. So this idea I'm putting out here is so that we can, this is the thing that they could have answered. The calling that she says she has. You'll remember in the previous video when she was speaking about this whole thing, what did she say?
Now the Lord God brought him to me and said, look, I hope you know she's taking over from you. This is your successor.
So this is what God told her. The message that went to TB Joshua was that she is the successor. This is the part that I didn't play in yesterday's video.
I want you to announce her to the world, announce her to the congregation, because I'm going to be taking you soon. You know already, you are using already her time. You have taken from her candles that she has not even used. You have already extended the time from 2012 to 2021. The Lord says, so I want you to put your house in order and announce her to the world.
Now, she's telling us here that TB Joshua was supposed to die 2012, apparently, according to what she says. So he lived an extra 10 years. So based on what she says, God showed it. Okay.
People of God, it was from that time there was an issue. From that time there was an issue. Ordinarily, Prophet TB Joshua, ordinarily, can I tell you something? He doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to leave the world, just like before he has been buying time.
Okay, so TB Joshua was buying time. That's what she says in her video. Now, question. If God is saying your time is up, he was extending beyond God for 10 years. I don't think, like I said, who she claims is telling her, when she says God is telling her this, God told her that he went to tell TB Joshua that the message was delivered and TB Joshua didn't want to go. So wait, you are telling me for 10 years TB Joshua was able to evade God? That's why I say the calling, she should question. You are not extending that 10 years. But I bring that up to bring highlight. There is no calling here. Probably. Because even when she gave the last prophecy, this is what she said.
Now, as a prophet of God, let me tell you the mind of God towards this. Not every ministry, when the founder dies, that continues.
So not every ministry, when the founder dies, the church continues. This is what she said. This is the part that I was looking for yesterday. So not every church continues. This particular video here, if you actually check, it was posted 2021. Right there, you can see September. Okay? So during the period when people were talking about succession of Evelyn Joshua and stuff like that. If you check on Tony's page, it's called Peace Arc, right? Now, I don't agree with Pastor Tony. I think he thinks his thinking of ministry is very weird. So, Pastor Tony posted this video. And in this video, he doesn't say anything personal. And then, that was 6 days ago. Now, in the recent video, this video right here, that's where Pastor Tony gets very personal. 2 days back from the time when I'm making this video, where he says this here.
And I said, I'm going to come back to visit that case. So while I was away, I did some investigation. I tried to know who the person is, who she really is, if the prophetess has said and all that. So
he was going to do his investigation. Now, I don't think he did any investigation. That's just me. I believe this information was handed to him. And I'll talk to Pastor Tony just in a second. Pastor Tony, be careful. When these churches start using it like this, be careful. Okay? Be careful. These people that you might perceive with very high thingy, be very careful how they decide to use you. Like I mentioned, in this video, if you listen to this video, it doesn't have information. It's just talking, on the random and stuff like that. But then Pastor Tony comes back. Like I said, I'll show you with the BBC thing. What he does in this video, it's exactly what's spoken about in that video. This is what Pastor Tony then goes to say.
To say that she was supposed to take over from Prophet TB and become the next general overseer. I'll become the next general overseer of the Synagogue Church of All Nations. That is someone that is not properly married. That is someone that got pregnant out of wedlock and now look for one man and put the pregnancy on the man.
If you watch the earlier video, the video that was done 6 days ago, Tony didn't have information. Tony was just talking, status, he was talking status, big boy talk type of thing. This is what he was saying.
You will end up having high blood pressure. You will end up seeing me as a wicked person. So, be at your territory. Do what you are doing. Don't put your mouth into what doesn't concern you. Don't try to go into matters that you don't know anything about. You go get high blood pressure. They never tell you. Yeah, prophetess. You prophesy to people, they prophesize.
Okay. So basically what I'm trying to show you is that in the first video, this is how he was talking, big boy talk, you know what big boy talk is, Mommy Evelyn Joshua is bigger than you and the whole nine jazz. Now, when he came back, Tony sounded different. There was a certain level of confidence now. He was now saying she had a child out of wedlock, how she's not fit to be leading their church because they are so righteous, right? And all that kind of jazz.
That's
Continue.
Talking supposed to be the leader of the Synagogue to the All Nation, and then she has written some letters to the Synagogue.
He's learned this.
The All Nation. Okay, so let's get that.
So how does he know that? How does he know she wrote letters? That would be between SCOAN and her. But no, you see, SCOAN feeds these people this information to attack these people. Now, if you remember in the BBC thing, he goes on to say other things. Like you can hear already saying that he's saying that she took the pregnancy, she put it on another person. You know this information how? You just investigated a person you didn't know and you found that? Come on, man. We're not buying that. They gave you the information.
Then I said, yes, she said that she's supposed to be the new leader. Now, you said that the Synagogue of All Nations was not supposed to have service. And yeah, you are saying that the Synagogue of All Nations was supposed to, you were supposed to be the leader of the Synagogue of All Nations. How does that correlate? That is madness. That is just madness. That's if you've ever listened to a mad person talk before, that's
okay. So basically, he goes on to then accuse the family here.
How does that correlate? How does that relate? That is madness. All right. So since you want the train, as I said, I want every member of our church. Please send this video to every member of our church. If it's a lie, let's know. As I said, of course, that this Unice is just, since she claimed to be a prophetess, she now used that Bible name, Unice. Her name is Chidima.
How does he know that? They gave you the information because she was there.
Go and ask her. That's her name. My name is Chidima. So the question is, how did she even get to the Synagogue of All Nations and all that? So when you see the former disciple relating with her, okay, you should understand that
this is the part that tells you SCOAN gave him information.
He had a little there was a little relationship, with them. They saw her. How did she get to the Synagogue of All Nations? If you know where she's coming from, you now understand where she is right now and exactly where she's going to.
So he's laughing and whatnot. Like, Tony, man, just take it easy, bro. Take it easy. I'm telling you. The way he takes joy at a downfall of a person is quite. It's unnerving that Tony is a pastor. But Tony, be careful, bruh. Don't be used like this. Don't be used to think. If the sister has an issue, it's that, like I stated earlier on, I don't think there's a calling here. I think maybe she took it upon herself or someone told her she has a calling and it's completely decided. That's why she's getting all these messages that do not even align. That's why she's getting all these messages. So if there's anything, I think it's to correct the sister and let her align herself correctly. Because then here, like when he's laughing at this point here, he goes to then say, her mother was not well or whatnot. He goes to say other things about the family. She says that's why he says, you will know where she comes from or where she's going. So basically he then claims that there was someone who, when they came to the church, Unice, and this person, that person was not okay mentally, and so he then accuses her to say no, she's not okay, and so she's going towards that side of mental. I think the sister just does not have a calling. That's what I'm just saying. I think. Okay. Now, I did say that I'm going to show you the video from the BBC documentary with this particular tactic here of trying to shame a person in a certain way. It's quite an interesting one if you actually see it here.
You are at his mercy. You are at his mercy.
I remember her being in a state of emotional turmoil. No one is ever in that top position the whole time.
Now, listen. So basically, Bisola had this high position, but then there was a way that he would break people down. Now, I want you to hear what TB Joshua himself would say there.
That's the cycle. You're built up and broken down.
Don't show any sympathy for this boy.
That's what he said. Don't feel any sympathy. Is there any point where we do not feel sympathy? Even when people are being deceptive, sympathy, we still feel sympathy. So this particular tactic of when they respond, they try to kind of like, they put all these big stories around you. You will see it even in the other people's stories there on that documentary. They did actually mention this thing. Now, I'm saying this thing so that we can distance yourself from people like that. I'm talking to Tony. Distance yourself. They are feeding you this type of information. Nothing says they won't do it to you. They are feeding him all this information to you so that it's thingy. The sister just needs to be guided. There's no calling here. If that's the case, we don't know if there's no calling. There's no calling. Just say it straight. Hey, you know what? Be careful, because your message is contradict. Watch yourself. Okay? And if there is such a thing as the lady is not okay, she's not well, like on the first video, which if you listen to that video, there's a child crying in the background. She has a husband, she has a family. No, they should look out for her, because instead pride takes over instead of pride taking over. And also this idea of that she wants to take over the church, I don't think she understands what she's asking for. Did you see how Evelyn took over that church? Hello? Did you see how she took over that? Do you remember the cases? Up and down, police, people being arrested. You see? People like me, we don't forget these things, so that we can remind people like you that desire things that you are not aware of. I'm talking about the lady. The thing you are desiring, you should be careful of. The way she took over that church should tell you you are not stepping anywhere close to that. Kicked out everybody, and she made a video herself saying that she used to gossip these disciples. Which one are you trying to take over? She herself, she's not aware of what she's asking to have a part in. That's the thing to call the lady out on. All these things that is bringing up and whatnot, and all this information that they are feeding you, or all this information that they are giving you, to come and tell us about her changing her name. And yeah, people change their names. I don't know. A lot of people, when they go into ministry, one thing they'll be called this one, then before you know it, it's the other one. But based on her own predictions, or what she said God told her, or what the message she says she got from the spirit realm, the stories don't align. She herself should consider, probably there's no calling here. But this one of, trying to say the lady's mad, no, they're insulting the family, no, the family is like that. Where does the family come in here on this one? But these are the tricks that SCOAN has been dealing with, and you can see it even in the response of Pastor Tony. You just address, there's no calling here. You don't need to be insulting the lady or anything like that, or insulting the husband by saying the lady is what and what not. Hey, the pregnancy. Where do you get that information?